नाज़रीन अस्सलाम वालेकुम। नाज़रीन अस्सलाम वालेकुम। पेश खिदमत है लाइव फ़ोन इन इंटरेक्टिव प्रोग्राम टेली क्लास रूम का आज का ताज़ा तरीन शुमारा। टेली क्लास रूम एक पैकेज है एजुकेशन और इंफॉर्मेशन का, जिसमें हम आपके साथ इंटरेक्ट भी करते हैं, जो पेश होता है आपके साथ डायरेक्टरेट ऑफ स्कूल एजुकेशन कश्मीर और दूरदर्शन के बाहमी इश्तिराक से अपने बाहमी इश्तिराक से ये प्रोग्राम पेश होता है दूरदर्शन की डीडी कशिर चैनल पे हर इतवार सुबह 10 बजे से लेकर 11 बजे तक। नाज़रीन, आज के इस बराह रास्त प्रोग्राम में मैं रहूँगा आपके साथ नियाज़ भट्ट और मेरे साथ रहेंगे।
Hello and Assalamu alaikum Nazreen, this is your friend Humaira Shafi. A very warm welcome to all of you in this particular show. Friends, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for keep sharing all the views and the suggestions about this program on YouTube as well as on our email ID, and for praising it. And trust me, I feel so good to be the part of this show. Well, friends, you might have heard that the language is the heart of the people. And as far as today is concerned, today we are going to deliberate a lecture on narration, which is from one of my favorite subjects, English. Okay. And friends, in this program, we used to provide an opportunity to all of you to connect with us right after the lecture. And you got the two options. First of all, you can connect with us on the telephone numbers, which are just scrolled down on your TV screens, as well as on email ID. And all those emails will be included during this show.
Yes, today's program is narrations and our subject is English, and already said by Humaira, you can mail us on our email ID ddkteleclassroom@gmail.com. I repeat the email ID ddkteleclassroom@gmail.com. नाज़रीन, कहते हैं कि वो इंसान सबसे बेहतरीन होते हैं कि जो इल्म सीखे और इल्म सिखाए. We have been blessed with the favor that we are sandwiched between the two best people of the world. इस हाथ पे हमारे इल्म सिखाने वाले हमारे फाजिल उस्ताद और इस हाथ पे हमारे प्यारे से स्टूडेंट्स इल्म सीखने वाले. आज जो फाजिल उस्ताद हमारे साथ तशरीफ़ फरमा है वो है जनाब गुलाम हसन वार साहब, रिसर्च ऑफिसर, स्टेट इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एजुकेशन कश्मीर, और हमारे आज के सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट रहेंगी गुरमीत कौर, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर IASE इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एडवांस स्टडीज़ इन एजुकेशन कश्मीर. आप दोनों का बहुत बहुत खैर मकदम है आज के इस प्रोग्राम में. और हमारे स्टूडेंट्स जो हायर सेकेंडरी स्कूल, गर्ल्स हायर सेकेंडरी स्कूल मागाम से आए, आपका भी बहुत बहुत खैर मकदम है आज के इस प्रोग्राम में.
Friends, the lecture will be started in a very short while. We'll be back after a very short break.
Welcome back to the Tele Class Room. It's time to have today's lecture, that's narration. So, Ghulam Hassan War Sahab, please start today's lecture.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Today, I'm going to discuss a very important rule, a very important topic in English, that is narration. And this is also called as reported speech, as well as direct and indirect speech. This is a communication cycle wherefrom we want to convey our messages, whatever we hear, whatever we listen, and that we want to tell to another persons, that we want to convey the message to another persons. But this rule or this very important topic has been put in all the classes from primary level up to higher level. You know why? Because the reason is that our students must be able to communicate their ideas to others. That's why some of the grammatical rules help us in speaking English fluently. But what I've observed so far, because I'm a teacher, I know where we are weak, where our students are weak. And even the students, if I talk about examination point of view, our students are not able to do or to get these marks from board exams or from university exams. Even if a student is very good in English writing, but what happens when some students I observed that they get 90 plus marks in English, but while evaluating their papers, the marks where they have not done correctly, this is the rule, this is the topic where they are weak. So today I have got the opportunity to be with you and to tell you, to my viewers, there are some very important points that we have to remember about this direct and indirect rule, or we can say the reported speech. First of all, what this rule is. What is reported speech? It means the words of a speaker can be said in two ways. One, his actual words, that's called the direct speech, and the substance for some words, there we change some words, that's called the indirect speech, where we do not use the direct words of the speaker. And this helps us in communicating our ideas. I've got this kind of opportunity today so that you can be, you can know what are the points that we must remember. We can be able to communicate our ideas freely with others. So, what is the basic thing? That is how we can communicate our ideas to others. And the rule is reported speech, or this is called as narration. So I have already told you there is a difference first. That is how we can differentiate between direct and indirect form. Sometimes students are asked to write direct into indirect, or sometimes indirect to direct form. So when we are talking about direct form, those are always those words kept in inverted commas, in quotes. Whereas in indirect speech, we do not use, but sometimes we use conjunction. But before I discuss regarding the topic, it is very important for students to know first, to recapitulate what you have learnt about tenses. Unless you know about the tenses and the sentence pattern, you may not be able to do justice with the topic. You may not be able to write or to change direct into indirect form correctly. So when I talk about tenses, there are generally three tenses. I will take just some minutes. There are three tenses. These are present, past, and future. In present tense, we generally use first form of verb. Okay, I'll take example of two words. For example, I'll write here eat, word eat, or I will write here word write. These words can be written in three forms. Past form of this word eat is ate, and the past participle form is eaten. Then write, what is the past form? Wrote and written. We write different kinds of sentences in direct and indirect speech. And that is, we must know about sentences, kinds of sentences. We are writing assertive sentences, wherein you can find affirmative and negative sentences. And we are writing optative sentences. We are writing interrogative sentences, where these sentences start with WH questions and auxiliaries. And there are other imperative sentences, exclamatory sentences, and you know already about these sentences where we use these. But while doing this direct and indirect form speech, you know, it is very important for a student to know about these sentences first, these sentence pattern first, and regarding what I have already told you regarding the tenses. Let me first of all take a general view of tenses. If I have written here, here is a present tense, here it is, I eat. Or sometimes we write, he eats, she eats, because we add s or es with third person singular. You know this. But it is progressive form is in ing form. He is eating, she is eating, I am eating. When I talk about present perfect form, we use have or has. I have eaten, you have eaten, he has eaten. Same is the case when I am talking about present perfect continuous, has been eating or have been eaten. Then, if I talk about past tense, eat becomes past, that is, it becomes ate. I ate anything, I ate an apple. I'll take an example, I ate an apple. Or I'll write one more sentence, that's I wrote a message. I write a message. When I talk about past tense, I can say past indefinite is I ate, then past progressive, that is I was eating, past perfect, I had eaten, past perfect continuous, I had been eating. Good. Then there is the future tense where we generally use will or shall. I shall eat, I shall write a message, like that. I shall be eating, I shall have eaten, or I shall have been eating. This is a general view about tenses. But where we feel problem, before talking about the topic, it is very important to know that this direct and indirect speech, this narration, this reported speech, this kind of sentence has generally two parts. How many parts?
Two parts.
Two parts. I will write here. For example, I write, I say, quote, I write a message,
Unquote.
unquote.
Yeah.
Now, two parts, this is called as reporting verb. What?
Reporting verb.
And the part that is written in inverted commas, these are the direct words of the speaker. This is called as reported speech. What?
Reported speech.
But the problem is that our students, they don't know, they don't bother about these things. I add some words here. Those words that we generally use in reporting verb. In present tense, these words are, see, say, says, or I have written here, says to, say to or says to. Sometimes we use
Tells.
or tells. Sometimes tell to or tells to, according to persons. According to
Persons.
Because when we use third person singular, we generally use s
depends
with
upon
verb.
that.
Okay, and this is reporting verb. See, all these words we use in reporting verb, but these are generally used in present.
Okay.
These are considered as
Present.
present tense. So that is, you must know, because we have to remember the points that we need in direct and indirect speech. So these are the words and these are the verbs that we generally use in reporting verb. And you will find here also the verbs, but this is the message. These are the words that we want to convey to others. So this is reported speech. Now, where is the problem? That students sometimes they don't know, they don't see, no doubt they know the things, but they are unconscious about these things. They don't bother about these things. That is very important for reporting speech here. That some verbs are written, these verbs are written in past tense also.
Yeah.
And here, see, the verbs that are generally written in past, this say or says to, or whatever these words are, say or says becomes said or said to. Then ask becomes asked, okay, or asked to. Then we use another verbs like told. Tell becomes told. And when these sentences or these verbs are written in a sentence, we have to see these verbs say us what is the sentence about, in what tense the sentence is. When we write say or says, it means that this reporting verb is in present tense. When we write said, when you see said or asked or told there, you have to be very cautious about this, that the reporting verb is in past
tense.
Now the point starts. When the very important point to know regarding this direct and indirect speech is, this is the first point, that when the tense of reporting verb never changes, it remains unchanged. It means that when sometimes here is I say, you will never write I said in indirect form. You have to use I say. He says to me. He says to. If you want to change it, you can write he asked me, not he said to me. So the very important first point is, that is, the tense of reporting verb never changes. It always remains unchanged. Number one. Number two, that when reporting verb is in present tense, for example, I have written here the verb What is this?
This is
In which tense it is?
present.
Very good. When reporting verb is in present tense, the tense of reporting verb remains unchanged.
Changed.
We have to also write it in present tense. When it is in future tense, when it is in, for example, I'll write here, I shall say, I shall or I will say. So the tense of reported speech remains unchanged. So two tenses. When reporting verb is in present tense or in future tense, the tense of reporting verb, reported speech never changes. But there is change in pronouns. There is change in, it is always there is change in pronouns. Now, another point. The first point is that the tense of reporting verb never changes. Second, when reporting verb is in present tense or past, present tense or future tense, the tense of reporting verb never changes. Reported speech never changes. Now the point is, when reporting verb is in past tense, when reporting verb is in
Past tense.
I'll write here, he said. Now see, quote. Here I say, here he said, or I can write I said. I write the same sentence. First of all, let me do this. I say, I
say.
Here's a question first. These inverted commas are generally removed
By the
in
conjunction.
indirect, when we write a sentence in indirect form. But when we want to change indirect into direct, we use generally these commas or these quotation marks. But here we do not use. What we do, we generally, these are removed and we generally use conjunction that. Conjunction
That.
not always, because there are some points that we have to remember. No, I say that,
Say that.
I write a message. I write a
Message.
Now see, here is first person, here is first person. It means that a person is telling about himself, so this cannot be changed. So I say that I write a message. But when the same sentence is written here, I write
Right.
he said. Now he said means he is a person. Maybe he is Bashir, he is Rashid, okay? He is Ram, he is Mohan, anybody. I write a message. What form is this written in? Present or past?
Present form.
It is present form.
Present form.
What is this?
Present.
So I have this sentence, I say that I write a message. So inverted commas are removed and I have used conjunction that here, so it is correct now. Now here the question is that reporting verb is in past tense.
Past tense.
And what I have told you that when,
Present tense.
see the rule now, when reporting verb is in past tense, when reporting verb is in past tense, the tense of reported speech undergoes certain changes. For example, simple present becomes simple past. Simple present becomes For example, here is I write a message. I write a message. What is the past form of write? Wrote. Very good. So it will change into wrote. So he said, then I have to write conjunction that here.
That.
He said that. Now this will change into this because he is talking about himself. He. So he said that he wrote a message. He wrote a message. Here right becomes remains right, but here it becomes wrote. So the first point, simple present becomes simple past. When a sentence is now present continuous. Present
Continuous.
for example, he said, I am writing a message. I am
Writing a message.
it will change into past continuous form. So I can write, he said that he was writing a message. He was writing a
Message.
Very good. Then if a sentence is in present perfect form, it will change into past perfect.
Perfect form.
He said, quote, I have written a message. He said that he had written a message. He had written a
Message.
Then another, if the verb, if the this sentence is in present perfect continuous form, it will change into past perfect continuous. For example, he said, I have been writing a message. I have been writing a
Message.
So how can you change it?
He said he had been
Very
writing a
good.
message.
He said that
He had been writing a message.
he had been writing a
Message.
Very good. So now the question is, if this he said, quote, I wrote a message. Now here the sentence is in past tense. Here it was in present and we changed it into past.
Past tense.
Present continuous, past continuous. Present perfect, past. Now the sentence is here written in simple past. What can you do? Once again is a rule that when reporting verb is in past tense and reported speech is in past tense, this past tense changes into past perfect. Past? No doubt some grammars write that we can write even it in past tense. But as students you must know, because this is the beginning, we have to adopt those rules that those are very simple and those give us some logic. And here you have to write it, he said that he had written a message. He had written a
Message.
Then if a sentence can be here, reported speech is in past perfect. Past? Then how can you change it? He said, first of all, present perfect continuous. That becomes past perfect continuous. If it is in now, past perfect. Past, there is no change because there are no tenses after that. So he said, quote, I had written a letter or I had written a message. We can write, he said that he had written a message. These are some of the rules regarding the past. But in English there are exceptions. There are
Exceptions.
and you can say what kind of exceptions are there. Sometimes when reporting verb is in past tense but reported speech is written in a universal truth or a habitual fact, so the tense remains unchanged. For example, the teacher says honesty is the best policy. If I write it, says is in present tense, we can write the teacher says that honesty is the best policy. Even if it is the teacher said, quote, honesty is the best policy. We can write the teacher said that honesty is the
best policy.
Or the teacher said, quote, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. No change. The teacher said that the sun rises in the east and sets in the so it is a very important point to note that there are exceptions in these rules, that when reporting verb is reported speech is in past tense, reporting verb is in past tense and the tense of reported speech never changes.
Okay,
Now,
sir, I have got the question. How can we convey the sentence into an indirect speech? And the sentence is like this. He said to me, quote, thank you, unquote. So
Okay, I'll write. He
said to me,
quote,
thank you, unquote. Yeah.
See, there are many rules now, many points now that we as students should remember. But this is very simple for you when you remember the points now, because I am going to tell you many points regarding these, this reported speech. Here it is said, but here is said to. So one more preposition to is used, and during that time we sometimes there is a request. Sometimes you can find because I have already told you that sentences are written in different kinds. There may be an order, there may be a command, there may be a wish, there may be an exclamatory sentence, it may be a question, interrogative sentence. But here it is very simple. There he thanked me. Generally you can say he, not necessary he told me thank you. No, here you can write it like, because when you are perfect now in changing the sentence in direct and indirect form, then you can use your own mind that how it can be written, because past tense we have to use here. So he thanked me. He thanked me. Now what I am going to tell you, that when a sentence begins, in assertive sentence, in a statement we generally use, there is the change of pronouns and we use conjunction that. But now here is a point now that sometimes we do not use conjunction that, but we use other conjunctions like if. We do not even use conjunctions at all. For example, if there is a sentence that is written in a WH question form. WH question form. And there are many these interrogative pronouns, or these are adverbs also. For example, which, when, where, who,
Why?
whose, why, etc. Even how. And when a sentence begins with such a question word, what happens? We do not write conjunction that, like that. Now you, one of the students, may please tell me any of the sentences that you like, starting with WH question. Another
Why
rule-
are you getting nervous?
Yeah?
Why are you getting nervous?
Okay. She said to me,
Why
Quote.
are you getting nervous?
why are
You getting
You-
nervous.
getting
Nervous. Unquote.
nervous? See, here is, you can find this note of interrogation. There are commas. And in indirect form, we have not to write, we have to remove this question mark, whatever mark it is, even if it is exclamatory, question mark, and these inverted commas. And we have to take such a care. Said to, it is a question. Generally, when it is a question, we write he asked, she asked, she asked. So she asked me, she asked me. Note that, because I already told you when it starts with WH question. She asked me. The same word is here used to combine reporting verb with reported speech.
Speech.
And this auxiliary changed its position. You know why? In order to remove this question mark. If we write this there, it becomes verb, like that, or sometimes it may be was. According to the pronoun, we can use it. So she asked why, because me here, why I was getting nervous. If I write here, why was I getting nervous, it will become once again a question, but we have to remove it. This is one thing. Another question? Yeah, that starts with WH question.
Where are you going?
Yes,
Where are
yes.
What is his problem?
What is his problem? She said to me, what is his problem? See, the sentence is written in, this sentence was also written in present tense. Here it is, it changed it into past tense, but see, here it is present tense. So I can write, she asked me or she told me what his problem, P-R-O-B-L-E-M, problem was. We cannot write what was his problem. That will once again become a question. Okay? Yes. Now see. And you can add as many questions to it. You can find many sentences like this. This is one of the rules. Now, one more important point is here, that when reported speech begins with an auxiliary. There are many auxiliaries in English. Like that, primary auxiliaries are there. For example, do, does, did. Then there is have form, have, has, had. Then there is be form, is, am, or, was, etc. When reported speech begins with such a word, we don't use that, and we don't use the same question word. But what? We use conjunction if or whether. Can you give me any sentence? Yes, any sentence that starts with is, am, or, was, were.
Do you know what I am?
Very good. She said to me, do you know
What I am?
who I am? Okay? Do you know who I am? So she asked me. Now, if, no need to write that. We need not write that. And even not the same question word. But this can be changed in if or whether. If do you know, it means she speaks to me. If I knew, who she was. See how it changed. Okay? So this is very important. What is the important point? That when reported speech begins with an auxiliary, with an like do, does, and there are model auxiliaries also, can, could, like that, and there we never use the same question word or that, but we use conjunction if.
Okay,
Okay?
sir. Yeah.
Any question?
Yes.
No. Yes,
She
please.
said to me, "Where are you going?"
She said to me, no, this comes in this pattern. She said to me, where are you going? She asked me where I was going. Where I was? And there are many other important points that you have to remember while doing direct and indirect speech. So please, can you tell me any of the questions?
Sir, in above sentence you have not used it. She asked me.
Huh.
But in this sentence you used it.
Where?
Me.
Where?
She asked me.
No, here she asked me why I was going.
Yes,
I was
sir.
getting nervous. So
Yes,
I have
sir.
forgotten to write here.
Okay, sir.
That's good. You are very cautious. You are cautious enough
very
to
observing
see the
things.
thing, observing things. Okay, this is she asked me why I was getting nervous. And there are other rules also in direct and indirect form. Now, you will give me some sentences as examples so that I can change it. I can change direct into indirect form. Can you? Yes, please.
He said to me, "You can do it."
Yeah. Let me write. He said to me,
You
can you do it? If this is one like this, I'll write that also. So he asked me if I could. If I could do it. And you know sometimes what happens? Sometimes even the sentence starts with do, because it is not always that do can be as an auxiliary. It can be a verb also. For example, where do you live? Here it is auxiliary. So how can you change it? Can you? He said to me, where do you live? Where do you
live?
Now, if you change this do into did, it once again it will become a question, and we are not, we cannot write this question word when we are changing it into indirect form. So how can we change it? We have to write the past form of this word, man verb. So I can write he asked me where I lived. Where I lived. And sometimes now there are the questions or there are the commands, requests. There we do not use ask, asked, said to, told to. And then one more point that you have to remember. We never write told to or asked to. Whenever we write asked or told, without to, we have to write in indirect speech. In direct speech, we can write he said to me. But in indirect form, we write he asked me or he told me. Not he asked to me or he told to me. That's indirect. That's why our students are doing wrong, a little bit wrong in their examination, and the marks are cut. That's why they get, they do not get these marks that they actually should get. And now, some more points. For example, you can find whether this is command or request. Or whether it is an order. The police inspector said to the mob. Generally, what we find when we see these words, we generally see that it must be a command. It must be order. But that's not necessary. Because sometimes always this reported speech, this tells us whether this is a command or this is a request. The police inspector said to the mob, please sit down, or please be in peace. The minister is approaching. What do you find the sentence is? Is it a command or is it a request?
Request.
Yeah.
Kind of
So
request.
we can say the police inspector requested the mob. And there when we use ordered, requested, commanded, we never use that there once again. We use preposition to combine reporting verb with
All right.
reported speech.
Speech.
The police inspector requested the mob. Requested the
mob
to sit down.
down.
To sit down. The minister was approaching. Is approaching will change into
It will change to was.
was approaching. Any question?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
is it necessary in such a rule to know about the sentence patterns and phrases?
Very good.
Yeah.
And this is very important question, because unless we know about the sentence pattern
patterns.
in direct form or the tense, we cannot be able to
get into
make justice with this rule. We
Exactly.
cannot be able to do this indirect form correctly. So it is very important
Yeah, to
in
know
English
about it.
to know about the sentence
Patterns
pattern
and as well as the phrases.
what I say, the tenses.
Tenses.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much, sir.
Ghulam Hasan Sahab. You kindly be seated. It was a very good transformation of the direct into the indirect and indirect into the direct in such a short time. We are very thankful to Ghulam Hasan Sahab. We'll be shortly back to you after this short break. आप देख रहे हैं लाइव फोन इन एंड इंटरेक्टिव प्रोग्राम टेली क्लासरूम। वक्त हुआ चलता है प्रोग्राम में इंटरेक्शन का, जिसमें आप हमारे साथ इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं थ्रू आवर फोन लाइंस, और यू कैन ऑल्सो ईमेल अस ऑन आवर ईमेल ID ddktteleclassroom@gmail.com. Besides mailing us, you can also put your valuable suggestions on our official Facebook page Tele Class Room, where you also can view the last programs. जितने भी हमने प्रोग्राम्स किए हैं उनकी लिंक्स हमने शेयर की हुई है हमारे फेसबुक पेज पर। हमारा फेसबुक पेज है टेली क्लास रूम। यू कैन ऑल्सो पुट देयर सजेशंस, any valuable suggestion, any feedback. You can also follow us on that page Tele Class Room. We have been some of the emails that already received during this program. It is Mubashir Manzoor. It's a very nice program, very beneficial program for the students. The Ghulam Hasan Sahab was very nice in such a short time. I have a question to the expert, that how can we convert or replace the direct into the indirect for these words, ego, hence, thus, and like. And the second question he's posing continuously in that, do we need to remember these words for having the good hold on the narrations? Please, madam. Varsabab.
There are many words that we generally change.
Change, yeah.
in
This
English.
is exactly asking about
Yes,
that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. While making direct into indirect speech. For example, sometimes this becomes that. Yesterday becomes previous day. That because I don't have such a time here. Then there
Last
is
night.
tomorrow. It will be
Next day.
the next day.
Next day.
Same is the
that's it.
case.
We have said about ego, hence, thus.
Hence becomes thence sometimes, and sometimes we write the same words.
Sometimes we
write the same words.
Actually, next question what he has actually posed, do we need to remember these words for having the hold on this
Yeah,
indirect?
it is very
It's
important,
very important.
because when we want to convey a message,
Yeah.
when we want to convey a message,
Message,
and we
yes.
can sometimes it is up to the reporter how he wants to say. If he wants to say the same words to the listener, he can use, but he cannot use quote here, because he has to change the pronouns and he has to convey the message, because this kind of message helps us definitely in what I say conversations, and that becomes very important for the speaker.
Thank you so much. मलिक अल्ताफ हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। वेरीनाग से मलिक अल्ताफ।
हेलो
हेलो।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाह।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
जी मैं मलिक अल्ताफ वेरीनाग अनंतनाग से अर्ज कर रहा हूँ।
जी आपका खैर मकदम है।
जी वार साहब से मेरा सवाल है, क्योंकि हम एलिमेंट्री लेवल पर जब पढ़ाते हैं तो नरेशन का कंसेप्ट हम कैसे एलिमेंट्री लेवल पर कहाँ से हम स्टार्ट करेंगे बच्चों में, जब हम ये मतलब नरेशन को क्लास में शुरू करेंगे, टॉपिक देंगे बच्चों को, तो हम कहाँ से किस लेवल से स्टार्ट करेंगे, हमारी बेस क्या होगी, बेस लाइन क्या होगी हमारी?
Good.
जी गुरमीत जी, एलिमेंट्री लेवल पे हम कहाँ से स्टार्ट
एलिमेंट्री लेवल का क्वेश्चन है। दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू नो व्हेन वी आर treating the young children, when we are teaching primary classes or young students up to 8th class, middle class, what we need to remember is what we need to do is that we should try not to make things formal.
Formal,
You know,
okay.
yeah. If you are talking to young children, talk to them in different structures, in different forms. And while they are interacting with you, while they are interacting and associated with different interaction, they'll automatically pick it up naturally. And that is what is important for young children.
So that
Rules and formal things, that is the form of the, not the meaning. The form of the structure is important in the later classes when they are very expert in talking and are comfortable in interacting. Then you can reach to the form of the or the definition of the structure, that is what we did, what we were doing, let us know what is this. So then you can teach those children that this is narration, this is direct and indirect. But first is important that language is, as he said, that we learn narration for communication. So for communication, you need to communicate with children.
to the students also.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. एक और कॉलर हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, MK भट्ट दिल्ली से. Good morning, MK भट्ट. जी.
Good morning to everybody. I have watched the same teacher giving the lecture on the excuse me, my teacher, I am myself teaching this subject in college level.
Yes, sir.
But I can tell you, sir, you will excuse me, both of the expert and you, and the children who are sitting there. Sir, it is very, 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 very tough to teach this grammatical portion.
Yeah.
It is technical, it is mechanical, it is electronic type. So, the old professors, I may say of English, are versatile on this subject.
But
even the doctorates
but
of
sir,
English in our time.
it's a format where we can introduce things.
Sir, I am telling the question. If we, the PhDs, even though I could not understand it perfectly, we are less than 10%. My question is that first of all, my request is to the children that when you wrote, written, it should be firstly elementary level, given the basics of the students which are 8th and 9th class. They cannot do for auxiliaries in the question, elementary is in the question, elementary is the first, other do's and d's and auxiliaries. They cannot understand. I can assure you they couldn't understand. Then we are taking said into say, told into asked into told. Give them this lecture first. Otherwise, it's tough to understand these students. Give basics.
Thank you so much for your valuable suggestion, MK Bhatt Sahab.
I assure you, they will not understand.
Thank you so much for your valuable suggestion, MK Bhatt Sahab. For the first question, I will respond like that. It's really tough to have such a technical and such a mechanical lecture as said by you in such a short period of time. But हमारी ये कोशिश रहती है कि हम स्टूडेंट्स तक अपनी जितना भी वक्त हमारे पास होता है उसमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचाए. उसके बाद हम कंटिन्यूअस लेक्चर्स देते रहते हैं इंशाल्लाह रहमान. वी विल ट्राई टू लर्न बाय दीज थिंग्स, बाय द मॉडर्न टेक्निक्स ऑफ टीचिंग ऑन द यूट्यूब, ऑन दिस टेलीविजन सेट एंड अदर थिंग्स. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कॉलिंग वंस अगेन. एक और मेल जो हमारे पास आया है अभी वानी आशिक नरवरा बीरवा से लिखते हैं, आज का टॉपिक बहुत अच्छा था. इस प्रोग्राम में हम स्टूडेंट्स को बहुत फ़ायदा मिलता है. वेरी थैंकफुल टू द दूरदर्शन कशीर चैनल एंड आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू गुलाम हसन वार साहब. Thank you so much also for you also. One more email that is with us. Assalamu alaikum. A very good lecture by the War Sahab. My request will be kindly concentrate more on the grammar so that everyone is benefited. What do you say about that? About the grammar, sir.
Grammar is very important as per our language is concerned. But I'll give you a simple answer. For those who want to communicate things easily, they don't want to, they are not careful about grammar. They can make mistakes. But those are the people, those are boatsmen, those are horsemen from Gulmarg. Those can be a common person, but a person who is educated one, who is a student of graduate of the language, he or she must not make such a mistake. Because while speaking to another person, you know, the person who is listening, he comes to know how he knows, how she knows. So that's why a person who is an educated one, he must not make such mistakes. So grammar tells us because it is to keep correct words in correct order.
Correct order.
That's
Thank you
what
so
it
much. शबीर अहमद हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं बाबा ऋषि से. अस्सलाम वालेकुम. हेलो
सर.
जी
सर, हमारा क्वेश्चन ये है कि सर ने अभी रिपोर्टेड स्पीच जो पढ़ा रहा था, इसने बोला कि जब WH क्वेश्चन होगा तो उसमें ऑक्सिलरी भी होगा सर. वहाँ पे हमें किस पे ज्यादा ध्यान देना है? हमें पहले WH क्वेश्चन हल करना है कि ऑक्सिलरी हमें पहले हल करना है सर?
जी.
Okay, and this is a very good rule, good point. This is, we have to keep our mind on both these things. It is not only you can keep eye on WH question, because auxiliary tells us in which tense the sentence is, and WH question tells us what is the situation.
Okay.
So both things are important. But I have already told you that the auxiliary changes its position. It changes its position. So it is better to keep eye on both the things.
Both the things. My simple question, what I already wants to ask is that why narration? Why is narration important in the English language?
Narration is one of the structures. Narration gives you variety. Narration gives a richness to your language.
Okay.
I will take example of your mother tongue, my mother tongue. We have learned all the structures, all grammatical rules naturally. Who taught us in the classroom? Nobody.
Nobody.
So that's the core of the answer, that you learn language for communication. And all these structures are picked by the students, by the children, very naturally, very casually, without any stress, without any classroom, without any artificial atmosphere, without any grammatical rules. No narration, nothing at all. How does the child feel comfortable? The answer for this question is that child learns language for the need. Because child wants to communicate his needs, his wishes, his dreams, whatever he wants to express. He wants structures for that. He wants tool for that. And that is the inner urge. The motivation, inner motivation pushes him or her towards learning language. The first thing that child picks up is, for 2 years or for more than 1 year, child does not say anything. But child is listening completely.
Collecting things.
He is or she is picking up the structures and trying to register and keep stored in the mind and brain. And suddenly a time comes when the child starts saying
things.
Nana, ha, go. So when the language starts, it starts without grammar, grammatical connection, no grammar at all. So it is my request to my teachers that when you are teaching young children, don't stress on grammar or errors. If the child is committing errors or mistakes, the teacher should celebrate it, because that is the process of learning. Learning process is full of errors, be it learning driving, cycling, cooking, or dancing, or any other skill.
Does it take it like this?
The
practice of narrations is important for that. Practice, working on this.
You asked me the question, why narration? I get back to that question. Narration gives you variety. Narration gives you, richness to your language. Otherwise, you will speak the same way. He said, I will go there. He said, I will not eat. She said, I am tired. You will always speak the language the same way.
Thank you
but
so
when
much.
you talk in your mother tongue, तो आप कैसे कहते हैं? आप कहते हैं, मम्मी ने कहा कि वो बहुत थक गई है. अगर आप इसको चेंज करेंगे, आप कहेंगे, मम्मी ने कहा मैं बहुत थक गई हूँ. That means both the sentences are correct. Both the sentences are correct. But it is in the learning process that you will come to know that this is appropriate, this is also correct, but this is better.
And sometimes it creates confusion.
ज़्यादा मसनून चीज़.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. एक और कॉलर हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, तारिक अहमद मगाम से. अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम सलाम.
वालेकुम सलाम.
आप मगाम से तारिक अहमद बोल रहा हूँ.
जी फरमाइए.
वालेकुम सलाम. ये हमारा सवाल है गुलाम हसन नवाज साहब से भी और मोहम्मद मैम से भी. इन दोनों का मैं स्टूडेंट रह चुका हूँ मागाम हाई सेकेंडरी में भी.
जी.
जी हम सिर्फ इतना पूछना चाहते हैं, जब हम ये डायरेक्ट और इनडायरेक्ट में कन्वर्शन करते हैं ना, कन्वर्ट, लेकिन हमने जो डिफरेंट वर्ड्स का जो हमें फिर देखना पड़ता है कि किस में कन्वर्ट होता है। इवन हम बड़े भी इसमें कंफ्यूज होते हैं कि इतना कुछ याद रखने में। बच्चों को कैसे ये करेंगे ताकि वो इसमें इतनी दिक्कत उन्हें ना आए, वो आराम से ये मेमोराइज करें कि कौन से वर्ड्स को हम मतलब सैड आस्क डायरेक्टेड ये कौन से वर्ड्स में कोई सिंपल सा तरीका होगा जिससे वो मेमोराइज को आसानी से कर सकेंगे।
ओके तारिक साहब,
एक और कॉलर हम पहले लेंगे। अब जावेद अहमद अनंतनाग से हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
हेलो,
वालेकुम सलाम जी।
I thank both the panelists, Gurmeet ma'am and the War sir. They are at the good place where they can disseminate this information. English is a language which is now needed at the international level.
Every place.
They have given us good explanation today. The two types of narration and the usage of the reported verb.
जी.
And I suggest that through SI and the Government College of Education, they should have some workshops and awareness programs and learning process programs so that the English language should be strengthened at the grassroots level.
Thank you so much. गुरमीत जी आपसे पूछना चाहेंगे, जो इन्होंने बोला कि इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ AISC एंड स्टेट इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एजुकेशन, वहाँ पे ऐसे प्रोग्राम्स करने। फर्स्ट यू रिस्पॉन्ड प्लीज।
It's happy to know that people want to go for training, but let me inform them that we are already on it, and we have been doing for the past many years, and it's very important. It's not one-time training. It's brushing them, updating them, because that is what even your computer needs. It cannot be loaded with the information and carry on with the same information always. So what we need to do is, whatever new trends are coming, because when humans are changing, how can language be static? Language is part of our behavior. So we also keep on changing. We keep on going off with old, which we call archaic, old English, and come up with new trends and new words. That is what is the dynamism of the language. It should keep on changing. And what about the question? Mr. Tariq said that yes, we are going on with the training. You don't need to worry about that. We are. That is what is our job. And about the rules about narration, what is the magic thing that can help them remember these words changed in different narration? Well, let me tell them that don't overstress or overload the children with all these rules and with all these changes. Keep on track of the words and things which are very important, vital for day-to-day communication, which are important in authentic language. We should leave the bookish language there and shift to the communication language which is authentic. Because when I'm talking to you, I'm using very simple words. So why should we load our students with difficult words? Let me tell you, this is a very important thing for teachers to know, that when we have a book in our hand and we are teaching through that book is compiled of 7 or 10 lessons. But those lessons are picked from different writers. And these writers have not written them for children. These writers have written them for themselves. So what we have done, we have picked those lessons and selected them for the book. Now it's the duty of the teacher to pick up only those words from those lessons.
We will get back to you, madam. We will get back to you. One caller is with us, Shahi from Udhampur. Welcome to Tele Class Room.
Yeah, what sir?
Yes.
Yeah, good morning sir. मैं शशि बोल रही हूँ।
हाँ जी, good morning ma'am.
अगर आपको याद होगा, only female member from Udhampur.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
I was with you in RI Ajmer.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so nice to call to us. You want to ask any question? Any question or any suggestions regarding the program?
No, sir. Sir, thanks for the nice program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. We have some emails also continuously on this screen. Shahid Nazir likhte hai, dear Tele Class Room team, I appreciate really you guys are doing such a beneficial program. Mr. Varsar was fabulous. I have a question to the expert. How can one be the perfect in the narration part, and is there any particular book for the reading which will help the students to clear the basic ideas?
There is no as I said, there is no
no
magic.
book,
There
no
is no
magic.
magic in picking up language or picking up mastering any structure.
Okay.
But there is one magic, and that is, if you learn something, don't keep it in the copy.
Practice.
Okay.
Bring it at the tongue, because
Bring it at the
unless you practice it, you cannot master it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a repetition turns it into automatism, and it becomes a habit. So whatever we want to keep with ourselves, we have to keep on using it continuously. Otherwise, it will become the class 8th, 9th, 10th book language, and it will die with the class. You go on going in the next class and picking up the structures according to the syllabus, and then you keep on forgetting. So the magic of the mastery of any structure is to practice it and to use it in day to day, not only for classroom, but this is my request to my young children, that you should use these structures in your day-to-day communication. It is narration is not for passing examination. Narration is for making your communication rich.
Thank you so much. मोहम्मद रफीक जुड़े हैं हमारे साथ अनंतनाग से. अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
जी
जी, मैं मोहम्मद रफीक हूँ अनंतनाग से.
जी फरमाइए.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम सलाम.
जी, मैं मोहम्मद रफीक हूँ अनंतनाग से. मैं मुबारकबाद देता हूँ पहले दूरदर्शन श्रीनगर को,
जी,
जो कि ऐसा प्रोग्राम यहाँ पर करते हैं.
थैंक यू सो मच.
तो
शुक्रिया.
इससे हमारे बच्चों को बहुत बहुत इंफॉर्मेशन भी मिलती है.
जी.
और दूसरी बात, मैं मुबारकबाद देता हूँ वार साहब से.
जी.
वार साहब मेरे कोलीग रहे हैं आज कारगिल, तो मैं उनको दिली मुबारकबाद देता हूँ that he has such a potential that he delivers goods on TV, and we are very much
कॉल करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
करंट ट्रेंड्स एंड
आप कोई क्वेश्चन है आपके पास या कोई सजेशन हो प्रोग्राम के बारे में?
हाँ, तो पहले मैं इनसे एक सवाल पूछता हूँ वार साहब से.
जी.
जो कि शायद दूसरे बच्चों के लिए भी ठीक रहेगा.
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
ये जो WH वाले क्वेश्चन हैं, क्वेश्चन वर्ड्स, इनके बाद जो इसने एक यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन यहाँ पर बता दिया बच्चों ने इसे, और उन्हें लिखा he said to me do you know who I am? तो यहाँ मैं थोड़ा जानकारी चाहता हूँ इनसे कि who I am करेक्ट है या who am I करेक्ट है. क्योंकि जो WH क्वेश्चन है इसके बाद ऑक्सिलरी पहले आना चाहिए, ताकि इसके बगैर भी सवाल रहे. ये
No, do is the main thing, deciding.
Actually, when we say who I am or who am I, there is citrus. Both are correct, but both these sentences have two different meanings.
Who am I?
If you say who am I, then it stands for that you are someone you want to show yourself.
But if context.
It depends on the situation, on the context. But if you say who I am, that doesn't show that you are someone superior. So both are correct, but these have two different meanings.
जी. थैंक यू सो मच. एक और लास्ट ईमेल हम आज यहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे. अबीरा एंड कामिल लिखते हैं फ्रॉम ज़ैफरान कॉलोनी. टेली क्लासरूम इज़ ए वेरी नाइस प्रोग्राम थ्रू योर प्लेटफॉर्म. आई हैव अ रिक्वेस्ट टू द डायरेक्टर ऑफ स्कूल एजुकेशन थ्रू दिस प्रोग्राम दैट काइंडली कैंसल द मोस्ट ऑफ द पब्लिक हॉलीडेज टू द स्कूल. इन प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो इट्स ऑलमोस्ट zero schooling which is added by the frequent public holidays. Our suggestion is to have only important holidays to the education department and rest as a working days. Thank you so much. आपकी बात पहुंच गई होगी डायरेक्टर स्कूल एजुकेशन के पास. हम बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार है वार साहब का. गुरमीत जी आपका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार कि आपने इतने खूबसूरत जवाब दिए, इतना बेहतरीन लेक्चर दिया. एंड स्टूडेंट्स, यू आर रियली वेरी रेस्पॉन्सिव एंड वेरी गुड. आपका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया एंड यू आर ऑलवेज वेलकम टू दिस प्रोग्राम. नाजरीन, आपका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कॉल करने के लिए, ईमेल करने के लिए. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. अगर आप इस प्रोग्राम के रिपीट टेलीकास्ट देखना चाहते हैं तो आप देख सकते हैं ट्यूसडे 7:30 और थर्सडे एट 9:10 AM. जी.
You continue.
तो इसी के साथ दीजिए आज के इस प्रोग्राम में हमें इजाजत. फिर मिलेंगे. अल्लाह हाफिज.
नासिर.
Thank you.